Okay, so yesterday we were dealing with all of this right here, factory conditions and urbanization. Okay, so you can see where we're at in the notes. We're starting here. Economic systems. There's three main ones. Well, there's three. Capitalism, socialism, communism. Except, look, the theory of communism is very different from communism in actual practice in a country. Okay? So, we're going to start with capitalism. In the eighth grade, you probably called capitalism the free enterprise system. Okay? Same thing. The root word of capitalism is capital. It doesn't mean the like capital city. Capital is money. If you say, I don't have enough capital to start building my new invention, you don't have enough money. Okay? Capitalism is all about making money. Okay, listen. You're going to learn a lot more about these three economic systems when you're a senior in economics. We only scratch the surface in this class. We only do the basics. We kindergarten it, so to speak. All right? They are complicated. I think the easiest way for you to remember which is which is to learn who owns the businesses in each one. Who is the business owner? Okay? In capitalism, you own your own businesses. The government doesn't own your business. You do. Um, you, I don't know, you own the hot dog stand down the street, or you own the bookstore, or you own the tattoo parlor, or you own, I mean, we can look in American businesses and we can find an owner to businesses. Who owns the business? Who is the CEO? If you were to give me a business, I could question right here. Who is the CEO of TikTok, Disney, Apple, Google, Amazon, YouTube, Microsoft? Well, looky there. The CEO of TikTok is this guy. The CEO of Microsoft, that guy. The CEO of Google, that guy. Amazon, that guy. Disney, that guy. Are you starting to notice something? Tesla. Oh, duh. We all know that. You're like, I don't. Twitter. Do I need to keep going? WhatsApp. Do you even use WhatsApp? I don't know. I don't know if that's more of a European thing. Have we done all these? Ah, Instagram. That guy. Okay, listen. Each one of those was a person. Each business I looked up, a person owns that business. None of those businesses said the government of America, because our government doesn't own businesses. You're like, yeah, huh? The government owns the postal service. That's not considered a business. Yes, it is. We buy stamps. It's not considered a business. It's considered a service of the government. They don't really make money off stamps. The money when you buy a stamp, that pays for the transportation of your whatever to get wherever it's going. In capitalism, the purpose is to make capital, to make money. And individual people own each business. We could do more, you guys. We could just start going through all the places you shop. We could go and look at like who's the CEO of HEB. We could go and look at like who's the CEO of, I don't know, iPhone cases or whatever company you want to do. And you're going to find, if it's an American type company, a person. Are you with me? Individual people own the business for the purpose of getting rich. To us in America, because we've grown up with this, we're like, well, what other reason is there to own a business? Why would I own a business if I don't want to make money? I'm glad you asked. Because in socialism and communism, there are different reasons. One is helping society, and one is sharing everything communally. Capitalism is about making capital, making money. Yeah? Okay. We talked about this before during the, what was it? Transoceanic Exploration Unit, where we have the joint stock companies being created. Yeah? We still have that. These transnational companies across nations, companies that go across nations, we do still have, like they do still, wait, they are still operated in the joint stock way, where one person doesn't own all 100% of that business. When you look here, I don't know if we could Google this. I don't know. What percent of shares does Elon Musk have? Really? I'm surprised it's so low. I mean, it's a majority, I guess, so I guess that's it. But I'm surprised it's so low. In Tesla, in his car, not Nikola Tesla, but in his car, he has 19% of the company. You're like, that's not a majority. Yeah, but if everybody else is below that, then it is. I'm surprised it's that low. I'm not gonna lie. I expected it to be higher. What percentage of shares does I don't know. I can't think of who we just did. This guy. Instagram man. I'm about to sneeze. Sorry. Oh, it's not here. Oh, wow. He only owns 10%. But see, everybody else owns less than that. Interesting. I'm surprised they're so low. Interesting. That being said, if Elon Musk only owns 19% of the shares, okay, then that means hundreds, maybe even thousands of people own tiny little pieces of his Tesla car company. Are you with me? That means When Tesla is doing well and they're selling a lot of those cars, those people, all those people, not just Elon Musk, all those people are making a lot of money. When they start losing money, he doesn't have to pay all the debt. Everybody who owns stock pays a percentage of the debt. Got it? It's the same as it has been. Purpose of capitalism is to do what? To make money, and individual people own the businesses. Okay, well, we have a guy. In the 1800s, we have this guy, Karl Marx. It's M-A-R-X, you guys. It's not M-A-R-K or M-A-R-C-S or whatever. M-A-R-X. Karl Marx. Karl Marx is the father of communism. However, every year kids think he's Russian. He's German. Oops. He's from Germany, okay? Karl Marx looks at America and how bad, like, remember the Sadler report? He looks at how bad the conditions are in the factories, in the cities, okay? He looks at some of the industrialized parts of Germany. He looks at some of the industrialized parts of England, and he spends a lot of his time actually in England. And he's pretty horrified by the idea that low-level people are being exploited, according to him, by upper-level people, by richer people. Yeah, because richer people will do anything they have to do to make money. He hates capitalism. And he writes a book. He actually has a couple books, but his most famous book is The Communist Manifesto. And in it, he has a quote: "Capitalism will destroy itself." He says, really, we don't need to worry about taking apart capitalism. They're going to do that to themselves. They're so greedy and they're so dog eat dog, and they just want to make money, and they don't care about, taking care of their people. They're going to destroy themselves eventually. He says, so we don't really have to worry about them over here. He has an idea. He writes about it. It's called The Theory of Communism. He says, if I had a perfect world where I could do whatever I wanted, every single factor of production, that means what you need to produce things, okay? Everything would be owned by no one. Wait, what? Yeah. Everything would be shared by everyone. Everyone would give freely to each other when they need it. They won't be mad because they're producing something and Bob the homeless guy isn't. Everybody produces because it's what's right. And everybody shares everything because it's what's right. And we live communally, in community together. If that happens, we could get rid of social classes. We could get rid of government and laws. And everyone would just share beautifully together. Okay, listen. That is a beautiful idea. Communism is one of those weird things that looks really good on paper. But when you think about human beings and how we behave, it's not possible. It's not possible. I wish everybody could just get along too. I wish everybody would just do what they're supposed to do also. But it's not possible. Think about it this way. We're going to have a communistic class. Okay? We're all going to share the same grade. What I'm going to do is this next test. I'm going to look at the grades. Some of you will get hundreds. Some of you will get 90s. Some of you will get 80s. Some of you will get 70s, 60s. You know, there's always that person who gets a 40 or a 30. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to average all the grades. And the average of the grade is everybody's grade. So when I average all the grades, the average is a 73. Well, hey, the person who had the 30s, like, heck yeah, man. The person who had the 100, what the heck? The person who had the 90, what the heck? The person who had the 80, what the heck? And the person who is low, who thinks it's cool, and the person who had the 80, 90, 100, who doesn't think it's cool, they start fighting. You know why they start fighting? The person who's low, the poor people in the world, start saying, no, this is fair. We all share equally. It's fair. The person who had the 100, the 90, or 80, the rich in the world, start going, no, it's not fair. I studied, you didn't. Why is it that I did all the work and you get to just ride my coattails? I don't think so. Do you see the problem? If we all share a grade equally, well, we have to average it. We have to, because there's going to be some of you who have hundreds and some of you who have 30s. Probably shouldn't be an AP, but whatever. Guys, the upper classes are going to be real anti-communist. That's not fair. I work hard. I deserve my money. I deserve my A. The lower classes are like, yeah, buddy, I don't have to do crap. And I still get the benefit of stuff. The idea is nice. It's just not how humans behave. You're always going to have those freeloaders in society who just waste our air, just waste our space, and they don't put forth any effort. And you're always going to have those people who work themselves crazy to be the best they can be. Well, if you're the best you can be, you kind of want a reward for it, right? So the theory of communism looks real nice on paper. It doesn't work. And here is what's crazy to me. In his own writings, he says, this is what I want. This is what I wish could happen. But it's not possible. He says it's not possible. So it's amazing to me in 1917, whenever Russia's like, oh, we can do it. The guy who came up with it says it's not possible. Anyway, he comes up with the theory of communism. Everybody shares every factor of production. I teach you because it's right, and I want you to be more educated. I don't get paid for it. I do it because it's the thing to do. You do your work because you're getting more educated and it's the right thing to do. You don't get an A or a B or a 30. You just do it because it's right. If I need tomatoes for my lettuce, I just go to the tomato person and say, I need 10 more tomatoes. Absolutely. Here you go. Thanks. Somebody needs shoes from me, I just give them shoes. We just take care of each other because there's no social classes. There's nobody who really owns anything. It's communal, communism. We live together, community, together. We all just produce because it's the right thing to do. He says, that's what I want. Since it's not really possible, then we should at least do socialism. Socialism is this weird kind of middle ground between capitalism and communism. Okay. Um, Socialism is where some businesses, usually the majority of businesses, are controlled by individual people. The big businesses that can make or break an entire country are not controlled by individuals. They're owned by the government. They're owned by the government. Not regulated, not controlled, owned. Okay? Okay. The government doesn't care. In a socialist country, the government doesn't care how many hot dogs you sell at your hot dog stand. It's not a big enough business that's going to make or break our country. They don't care. You own your hot dog stand. You can make as much money as you want selling hot dogs. Absolutely. Get rich off hot dogs. They don't care. They do care about maybe the medical business, energy, like oil, stuff like that. Maybe defense. Maybe I'm trying to think of banking. Banking. There's a fifth one. Oh, duh, education. You're like, our government owns education right now. No, it doesn't. Education isn't a business. It's a service. We're talking businesses. Okay, guys, if the banking system crashes, that's going to destroy the entire country. Great Depression. We'll get there, but that's what happens in the Great Depression. Okay. If the medical industry crashes and fails and we have nobody to help us medically, Black Death all over again. A third of the population is going to be dead in a heartbeat. Could that destroy an entire country? Yeah. Socialism doesn't try to control every single business. They only look at what are the businesses that they feel are so big that it's not good if one person owns that business. Energy, oil. Now, again, here in America, you're like, we have oil. I know, because we're not socialist. We're not. You can look at every meme online that says America's socialist. No, we're not. We're not yet. Okay. Some people say we will, some people say we won't. We're not. In the past few years, I've had several kids who are like, but what about like the health and Obamacare? The government doesn't own that. They're still private, what are they called? Insurance. They're still private insurance companies that Obamacare works with. So the government doesn't own it. Okay. Whether we become socialist or not, who knows, whatever. But right now, we're not. A whole chunk of European countries are socialist today. You have differing degrees, like levels of socialism. Medical. is often one of the only things that some of the European countries will put like the government in charge of. Canada, they're going to claim that they are capitalists, but their medical is controlled. I shouldn't say controlled, owned by the government. That's why you hear about like so many Canadians and stuff coming to America for surgical procedures because they can't get it there, they can get it here. Um, I'm trying to think of some other places, and I can't, of course, right now. But the whole idea is the government is going to own businesses that are so big that if it breaks, if it falls, if it goes bankrupt, the entire country won't fall apart. They don't care about Olive Garden. They don't care about Walmart. If Walmart goes under, I mean, there's HEB that we can buy. There's Albertsons that we can buy at. There's every corner, there's a Walgreens or a CVS that we can buy stuff at. We can all order from Amazon. If Amazon goes under, so we can order from a bunch of other places. Um, those aren't businesses that will break an entire country. Socialism, this weird little in between, where some businesses are owned by the government. Most businesses are still owned by the people. Okay. Then you have Russia in 1917, which you'll learn more about later, try to go full communist. Pretty quickly, the guy who tries it, V.I. Lenin, is like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. Well, duh, he said it won't. The guy who comes up with it says it won't work and you try it anyway. Um, Communism in practice is different from communism in theory. Oops, what happened? Okay, look. Communism in theory says people share everything so that government and social classes can disappear. But people can't share. I mean, I guess we can. I shouldn't say we can. The majority of people don't want to share. So, communism in actual practice. What it's going to do whenever they take over, okay, Russia, and of course, there's other countries that go communist later. They're going to make it look like everyone is sharing and all of the resources, I'm sorry, and all of the social classes have disappeared. They're going to make it look like that. Most communist countries are going to put out publicly a very, oh, we're the perfect place to live. Everything's great here. That's what they're going to put out publicly. They're very private. North Korea. Oops, what? They're very private with what's actually happening. China. Now, China's a weird kind of socialism or capitalism. I mean, communism, sorry. They're not really communism. They're not really socialist. They're just weird right now. They do go communist with Mao Zedong after World War II, but today they're a little different. But we'll get to that when we get to more modern stuff, okay? So, Russia is going to try and make it look like everybody shares everything and the social classes have disappeared. But again, since we really don't share well, and since we really do have it in our mind that, hey, I worked for that and I deserve something, and you sat on your butt and you don't deserve anything, then here's what's going to happen. I'm about to sneeze again. Sorry. What's really going to end up happening? Government owns like 95% of the businesses. Yes, technically the definition is they own all businesses, but little Bobby who sets up a lemonade stand in front of his house, technically that's a business. Does the government even know it existed? No. So this right here and this right here, technically, yeah, that's the definition. The government owns every business and people own none. But again, you always have that, one business that government doesn't even know exists. Okay. In order to make it look like everybody is sharing, the government just takes it all. People all get paid the same amount. People will have the exact same type house. Oh my gosh. When we went to Europe, I don't think I have time to look up these pictures. When we went to Europe and we went to the eastern part of Europe, where communism used to be, the architecture was like so different. And they call it communist Baroque. Yeah, it's not. It's not Baroque at all. I love Baroque style, and it just so wasn't. Where's my... Okay, we're looking for Czech Republic. Here we go. Okay, look. Let me show you this. Okay, so in Prague, you've got, look at this. Beautiful architecture. Just gorgeous stuff, right? And then, let me get down. This is a communist statue here. Oh, no, it's not. Just kidding. Those are the giants. Never mind. Ignore me. This is the city of Prague from far away. That's a cathedral. I want to show you this. Just hang with me. This is all Prague, you guys. There we go. Okay, so look. We have, all this really cool architecture, right? Just cool buildings. Look at that. That's gorgeous. That's communist, but that's okay. Cool buildings, cool buildings, cool buildings. That's the communist statue I was looking at. Cool, right? I saw it. It's coming somewhere. Is that not creepy? Where is it? I saw it. I swear I did. Did I go too far? I saw it. I saw it. I saw it. I must have gone too far. Dang, where did it go? The architecture in the communist bloc was like... Okay, here it is. I went too fast. Okay, so you saw a bunch of stuff, right? Really cool architecture, yeah? And then you have this. Now, we didn't go here, okay? So we didn't go here. So I only have pictures from far away. This is the communist bloc outside of Prague, or in Prague, whatever, Czech Republic. All the buildings look the same. You're like, no, they're all different colors. Yeah, they are today. They didn't used to be. They were all grays. Gray, 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 gray. Today, they're all different colors. It was all gray. Because the idea is everybody shares everything, so everything has to be equal. Equal. Buildings were all the same, apartments were all the same. I told y'all in another video, and in class I've told y'all, it felt oppressive. I don't know if I have more pictures or not of the communist bloc. There's some right there. It's all the same. It's just a box. Because the idea is we're not going for pretty, we're going for functional. Okay. The government owns everything. They make it look like to the rest of the world that there's no social classes, that everybody shares and everybody just happily produces. But see, one of the things that Joseph Stalin did, he's one of the leaders of Russia. It's called the Great Purge. Purge means to get rid of. You know that, the purge. Anybody who is like a freeloader or homeless or wasn't willing to work or whatever was just killed. Or anybody who was against him, but we'll get there. But people who weren't willing to work or who couldn't work were killed. Wow. Well, that's not really what Karl Marx said, is it? No. We don't just kill people because they don't want to work. The idea is everybody will want to. But that's because what Karl Marx is talking about, it's a utopia. It's a perfect society. It's a perfect world. He says capitalism is awful because greed is going to take over. What I wish is this perfect world where everybody could just communally share everything. Well, we can't. So the best kind is socialism, where we work together and we own businesses, but not the big ones that'll completely destroy everything. Complicated? I know. But are you kind of good? If you're kind of good, you're good. Because really, truly, I promise, you're going to get this a lot more in economics senior year. I promise. Okie dokie. All right, das ist alles. Keine mehr.